Hey Twisters, so for this video we're going to rank the best jerseys by team for the 25-26 season. I think I didn't really explain that clearly. So we're doing a tier rankings, and the way this works is we're going to rank based on each team's set of jerseys. So home, away, and alternate and heritage jerseys if they have that. And we'll do that, for every NHL team. We've seen a lot of designs out there as of late, with the Seattle Kraken coming out with a black jersey, with the Red Wings and the Rangers unveiling Centennial jerseys. We had the Capitals doing a modification of the Skrigal, and we have a couple other newer looks that we'll see on the ice in the upcoming year. So hopefully you can join me for this ranking. It's just entirely for fun. I am not the definitive jersey content creator here on YouTube, but we would definitely welcome your opinion for this upcoming stream. And we would also welcome the arrival of my dog, Cortana. Cortana, why don't you come over here, girl? Come here, Cortana. Hey, you want a treat? Of course, I put the treats in the toughest spot to reach. Here we go. Vladimir the hamster. Yeah, I actually do. How can I forget a name like that? There you go, girl. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Good girl. You want another treat? Here we go. Oh, yeah, good girl. And who could forget a name or a face like Cortana's? Mike, Dean, welcome back. And we can get to the rankings really shortly here. I just want to give people just a couple minutes to join. And, of course, as always, throw a super chat my way, and I'll give Cortana a super treat. So, anyway, hopefully you guys are, of course, getting excited for the upcoming NHL season. We're only, not even 3 weeks away from the puck drop, I don't think. And I'm fired up, especially because my football team has looked like ass so far to start the year, but that could change. That could change. All right. Now, see, I don't do this enough to where I forget how to actually use my streaming platform. All right. Ben, a Cam Ward fan. Cam Ward. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. Glad to see she's doing better, I hope. Or you haven't been back since her surgery. Yeah, she's doing pretty good. She never was quite the same coming out of the surgery, but she can still run around decently. She can go on a lot of the hikes that I want to go on. Some of the steeper stuff I might be a little concerned, but her internal health is flawless. So everything's good there. Jelly Ramp, what's going on? That glow in the dark for the Kraken is insane. Hockey from home. Hiya. Thanks for joining us again. Very excited with the camp starting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Of course, hopefully there's going to be one or two players for everybody's favorite team that kind of come out of nowhere, make the roster, and hopefully can make an impact in the regular season too. Not a fan of the Kraken. Glow in the dark. Vegas did it first. All right. Ovi's hurt. Ovi's hurt? Really? Derek, welcome back. Thanks for hopping in. Okay. Ooh, and I just got a reminder from the Savannah Bananas, because that's what I'm looking forward to on the weekend. I'm going to Seattle, and Mrs. Twister and I are going to go see the Savannah Bananas. We're super stoked. Okay, let's do this, everybody. So we're going to go to our first team, and I have shown our last team, which is bad form, very poor form. I guess we could have started in reverse, but I mean, the Capitals, the Skrigal, that we like the Skrigal, but we've got the Anaheim Ducks to start out with. Who doesn't want to start with a great logo like the Anaheim Ducks? So everybody, give me a letter grade for the Anaheim Ducks. Hey, Nick, perfect timing. We're just starting this out. So give me a letter grade for the Ducks. We're talking about all of their jerseys. So the entire set. So with the home jersey and the away jersey, what grade would you give those jerseys overall? Like Jelly Ramp said, B. Kopitar is going to retire after this year. Wow. I hope he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, I should say. And I hope that you can enjoy the crack of this beer. There we go. 2-time Selke Trophy winner, 2-time Stanley Cup champion, and longtime captain of the Los Angeles Kings, Anze Kopitar. F. They look like traffic cones. B minus. Ducks jerseys are dope. the OGs, but still a B. Yeah, I'm pretty much in that camp. Now, if you had these two jerseys and you had that eggplant 30th anniversary one, I would probably rank that overall in A, because we're just dealing with home and away. Big fan of the home jersey. Away jersey, the overall uniform, I think looks pretty good here, but I'm not a huge fan of the jersey just by itself. So, with that being said, everybody, we'll lead off with the Anaheim Ducks in the B tier. I think that we've pretty much reached a consensus. All right, the next team is the Boston Bruins. And the Bruins, as far as I know, are only wearing 2 jerseys for this upcoming season, but they are different. This is the first time they've changed uniforms, I think, in about 17, 18 years. So they're going kind of with the Cam Neely era. You've got these beautiful black and gold jerseys here, or black and athletic gold. And then you've got these yellow jerseys here. Now, of course, they haven't taken the ice with these, so I'm just giving you some promo photos. But yeah, that's what we got for the Bruins. I'm definitely a fan of this look. I think out of the Bruins home jerseys, I've always liked this one the most. Robbie, what's going on, man? Thanks for hopping in here, and I hope you're looking forward to this upcoming season with the Maple Leafs. I think that you're a Leafs fan, and I saw a quote from Craig Berube that he's glad he doesn't have to hear Core 4 anymore. Okay, so BDACA. Interesting. B Yellow Sox would have made it an A. Huh. What am I going to grade this? BDA. So that's like bordering a B. C. So now it's like in C tier, A tier, and then a B tier. That pushes it up to the B. So while I love, of course, varying our rankings, I think I'm going to throw this one also in B. I know I'm using the outdated logo. I can't wait to see Marner getting booed hardcore. I wonder when his return to Toronto is going to be. Okay. Now, I might have to actually switch to polls, but we don't have a ton of people here yet, so actually, what the hell? Let's do it. Let's do polls, okay? So the next, we already did a leadoff poll, and it's either Kraken or Red Wings. I have to give it probably to Detroit for this one, but I am a fan of what the Kraken have done. Don't love it, but I do like it. I can't wait to see Seth Jones getting. That's Nick. I still owe you a rant. I have your rant recorded, and I need to cut it and send it to you. Okay, the next team we have is. Oh wait, hold on now. We can't do polls because we have 6 different rankings here. So I'm just going to do my best to make a judgment call. Okay. So the next team we have is the Sabres. The Sabres are going to be wearing 3 jerseys this upcoming year. So you've got, of course, home jersey, which they've been wearing now for about 5 years. Here's the away. And then they also are still wearing the goat head, as far as I know. Justin, I think, is that the first S I've seen? That might be the first S or second one. Nick says B. Jelly Ram says B or A. Oh, wow. So Marner's not returning until, about a little bit more than halfway through the season. Okay. Who else is going to rank the Sabres here with us? Personally, I've got a pretty favorable ranking for this. A, they're better in your opinion. Sports Geeks, welcome back. Goathead S, home and away D. Ooh, wow! I think that's probably the most flack I've ever seen for the home and away. B, okay. Dean says C. Okay, let's see. One thing is associated with losing A still. Okay, so let me look at this. S, B, B or A. A. Okay, I think that since we've gotten a handful of A's here and no F's, maybe a C or 2, but I think that we're going to have to probably give this one the edge and put this up in A, especially if we throw my opinion in here. I'd have this in A. I think that I actually might even put it up higher. Like this home and away set, I think is Very lovely, even though I didn't even rank it that high in my rankings video. And then you got this goat head, and boy, oh boy, it ages well. Goat head pushes it to A. There we go. Okay. Next team we've got is the Carolina Hurricanes, who have a new road jersey, which is based on their stadium series. The Storm Flags, or the actual Hurricane double stack here, is still the home jersey. Now, this is the away jersey. Again, it's basically a white version of what they wore for the stadium series. I'll leave that up, or I'll come back to it. They still have this red alternate that's kind of based on their original jersey as the Hurricanes. And I would probably not factor this too much into my rankings, but at least once this upcoming year, they will wear the Whalers jerseys. So I'll let you fixate on this new road jersey. Dean says C, hard D. Thank you, Nick. Yeah. I should have differentiated with these rankings. Away is an S. Wow, I'm seeing some bold takes here. Home B. Home could look a little better with the boxes at the bottom, like the older ones. Or the Tropical Storm Flags. I forgot there were 6 years. Oh, Ty rocking the Mammoth profile pic. Nice. C. I'm not seeing a whole lot of love. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. I mean, we don't really have much higher than a C for these guys. So I think that just comparatively, we're going to probably have to put them in D. I'd have to say probably a pretty small chance that that's going to change. All right. Let's move on to the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets come next. And they're rocking still their alternate jersey in addition to their navy blue homes. You've got the white aways. Well, everybody does. And, of course, you've got the cannon. So based on that set of 3 jerseys, where do you think the Blue Jackets should rank? The Columbus Blue Jackets, who I would like to see in the playoffs this upcoming year. I mean, they're not the only ones who I like to see snap out of their drought, but I think that the fans deserve it. I don't usually say that sort of thing, but I'd really like to see that for the fans and for the organization. The flag logo is better for the... Oh, I wish Fanatics didn't botch the Blackhawks Centennial jersey release. Yeah, that, when you shared that with me earlier, that's really disappointing. Love the alts, but the rest are so I would go with C. Maybe D. The aways are nice. I'd actually argue that if I got a customized jersey, like home and away, I think the away actually might look nicer. Yeah, but it looks like it's a very C-heavy ranking here. So with that being said, I don't think anybody's going to fight me for this, but C for Columbus. Jackets over Canes is kind of crazy. I mean, if the Canes wore the Whalers jerseys like they would wear an alternate, then I think that you have a point that I can agree with. But I don't think there's a huge gap between the two. All right. But I imagine there will be a gap with this next team, or possibly. And that is the Calgary Flames. So the Flames... still going with the 80s look that they, started with when they were in Calgary, kind of borrowed over from Atlanta. They still have the white jersey with the red shoulder yoke, and they still have the blasty. And don't forget, this blasty, you can't really see it, but the sleeves actually have these stealthy-looking flames on them at the very ends of the sleeves. So that's who we got now. We got Calgary. It's been like 2 years since I've been here. My name was Preds Fan Cody. Yeah. I don't know if you saw earlier in the chat, but that does ring a bell now that I think about it. At first I was like, Well, one of my good friends is named Cody, but he's not a Predators fan. doesn't care about hockey, but I'm glad you do, and I'm glad to have you back. All right. SAAABAA. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else want to weigh in? Come on, come on, come on. Robbie's on the B side of things. BMF says A. And I myself, I think that this is one of the stronger sets of jerseys in the NHL. And so I'm going to elevate this up into the front of the A tier. All right. Now, this is a little bit hard to make out because you don't see the backs. Wait a second. Oh, yeah, that's right. I think the back numbers, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. The back numbers for the Centennial Blackhawks jersey is has gold outlining, right? So there have been some modifications versus this is going to be what they wear for home, by the way. So you have a shimmering gold outline, which is kind of a throwback to the outline that they used to have around the logo. You have the 100th anniversary patch. You have the much better collar, in my opinion, even than what they had previously. And then you have some gold outlining on the numbers. And then, of course, you have the typical Blackhawks away jersey. And gold tomahawks. Oh, okay, yeah, I can't really see that in that picture, but I probably saw that at one point. But that's pretty awesome. Love the home and hate the aways. Owning an away jersey, or shoot, I don't think I have that one anymore. Somebody in Norway bought it off me. I really like the aways a lot. On the ice, with the rest of the uniform, I'm not as crazy about them, but in person, when you just have the jersey, I think it's pretty damn great. Aaron, what's happening, man? Are you ready for this upcoming year? All right, so we got what? BSA. I need some more letter grades, guys. We got a B. Keep the votes coming. You loved the Winter Classic that they had. Yeah, that was a solid one. I wish that they could keep wearing that. We had a jersey day at school, and I saw like 4 Blackhawks jerseys. Do you live in Illinois or around there? All right. I got 1 A, I got 1 S, and I got a bunch of Bs. Cam Ward fan says A-. All right. Well, I'm going to call... you're in Minnesota. Okay. I guess that kind of makes sense. Go C above Columbus. All right. Factoring that all in, I mean, it's really close to the Sabres, but I would say, relatively speaking, it's probably at the front of the B tier. But we do shuffle things around from time to time in our rankings. RD says A. Okay. Well, I personally would also have this in A. I think that's enough. I think it's just about... And now Astro says B. Astro didn't vote before, so... All right. There we have it. All right, now we're going to go with the Avalanche. The Avalanche come next. You guys are pretty familiar with these jerseys because we've seen this team in the playoffs. God, what about like 8 consecutive years or something like that? So you've got the mountainy design to the bottom. You got the aways, which I wouldn't look at the rest of the uniform. We're just looking at the jerseys here. And then the Avs still have their Navy alternates. Mackenzie Blackwood, look at that mask. Mac Black, you were such a beauty in San Jose. I miss you. All right. D, C, bottom of B. Too much blue. A, B, C. Actually, S because you love this set. Really? I'd say the home jersey here easily wins me over. if it's true that they're going to have a Nordiques alternate for this year, then it's an A. Actually, yeah, if you did have that, I think it would probably propel that. Okay. Wow, we have a lot of opinions here, like good ones, of course. Okay. D, C, bottom of B, A, B, C, S, B. Okay, this is good. This is what we want to see. All right, I'm gonna do a poll. I haven't seen too many S's, so I'm gonna say A, B, C, or D. All right, let's vote in the poll if you guys would be so kind. Avalanche wearing Nordiques feels disrespectful to Quebec fans. I mean, you would have to have the same opinion then of the Hurricanes wearing Whalers, which, plenty of people in I mean, I watched a documentary on this, and yeah, there's some division on that where they feel like they're being disrespected that way. And then some of the fans actually in Hartford, they embrace it just because they get to see those jerseys out there on the ice again, but to each their own. All right. So pile on those votes, everybody. Milkman Hockey. Nick, that's not you, is it? Coming in all stealth. Let's see here. All right, we're going to close it in 10 seconds, so vote if you haven't already. Vote is so split. Yeah, it is. So it's kind of hard to rank. I mean, you could just throw it in B tier at the end of the day. The home mic, the home's underrated. If I were to grade them, I'd say like this to me is pretty damn cool. I like it a lot. I think I had it in A when I did my rankings like a month or two ago. Not a huge fan of the away jersey. It's not horrible, but I've never been a big fan of that. And this one's okay. I like what they're going for. All right, let's go. Let's close it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I guess you just kind of throw this in B at the end of the day. All right, let's go to the next one, and that is Dallas. Now, Dallas, to my knowledge, is actually not wearing the blackout jersey. So hold on one second. Let me do a little ranking here. All right. So we'll throw up a poll here, everybody. So yeah, just the victory green home and the white away, and that's it. If we threw in the blackout jersey, I'd have this up decently. But yeah, they're just working with these, and I think some people would prefer to see a different look or bring back a classic look for this team. Correct, RD. That is one of the best state flags. No blackout equals C. I love green representation, but these are bland. Time to change the stars and go with the reverse retro 2.0. That would be a really good look. I'm glad that a lot of people seem to really like that one. It was kind of falling under the radar at first, and then people realized, like, whoa, this thing's freaking sharp. And in person, I bet it's beautiful. All right, so Dallas. All right, we'll give it about 15 seconds, everybody. Now, I think that these actually mostly look good. Are they original? The color is, sure. The design is borrowed over from the Blackhawks. But the one thing that gets me is this collar it just sticks out like a sore thumb. But I mean, I watch a lot of hockey, and so it's kind of like I see these things, I pay attention to these things, and a lot of people don't, and that's fine. All right, we're going to close this out. So pretty much at consensus that this is the definition of mid, and so we're going to put Dallas in the C tier. All their jerseys combined are top 5 in the league, like all the jerseys in their history, because they had a couple stinkers. The Mooterist, anybody remember that? All right. Now, a team that actually doesn't have that many jersey designs in recent years, except for like commemorative games, is the Detroit Red Wings. And as you guys know, they recently released their Centennial jersey. And it looks a little something like this. So I think you got the off-white here. They've got some felt numbers. They have the captain's patch looks pretty cool too. It's like this really deep kind of maroon with like this leathery sort of treatment to it. F, I'm sorry, these are so boring. Wow. Wow. But the thing is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Cortana, come. Jesus, girl. All right, while you guys vote, I'm going to give Cortana a treat. Come here. Come here. Motorist was one of the first jerseys in your collection. Is that right? You good girl. Good girl. All right. You're fine. C for that. Logo is S tier, though. Yeah, logo. Okay, that's fair. If you want to say the design doesn't really float your boat, but the logo is great. I mean, I can get on board with that. But yeah, it's kind of like they're so iconic and recognizable that I wouldn't want the Red Wings to ever change their home away. And I'd probably say the same thing about a couple other teams out there too. All right. So I'm going to give you guys about 10 more seconds. So cast your vote if you've yet to do so. And leave a like if you've yet to do so too. I would appreciate that. Love the 100th. Everything about it is so nice. The logo's an A, but the jerseys... Yeah, I saw that earlier. I think the Stadium Series jersey they wore against Columbus was better than all of these. Really? Huh. That's, again, I appreciate having your takes here. All right, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's going to be interesting if we actually get somebody worthy of S. Because, I mean, that's good. I mean, this is really favorable for them. But I don't know if I can quite put it up there just yet. It might get to the S tier. All right, now the next team we have is the Oilers. A, not S. Okay. The Oilers, they are only wearing 2 jerseys for this upcoming year that we know of for sure. Now, the Oilers actually had a jersey design leaked. I don't know by whom exactly. So I would not say that this is something that we can count on seeing, but usually these kinds of things are correct. However, until the Oilers release personal or their own, photos of this, I would say just go off the home and away for this upcoming year, right? We're used to seeing these quite a bit. They're not doing those Navy alternates anymore. So there we go. You have 2 teams in mind for ass. I mean, point taken either way. You haven't seen that jersey yet, said Aaron. Yeah, I don't know if I want to say it flew in under the radar, but it kind of did. Okay, all right, Robbie. We'll see you in a wee bit. You can confirm that this is the Oilers' 3rd last season. It was basically confirmed. Oh, really? Huh. Well, I wonder what's taking them so long to release it. But yeah, we know what we're getting in with the Oilers. Otherwise, wow. Whoa, some spicy votes here. All right, guys, I'm going to give you 15 more seconds to cast a vote if you haven't done so. Reminds you of the Philadelphia Quakers? Yeah, it kind of does. Who were very, very briefly in the NHL. The first, actually, I don't know if they were the first orange and black team. Didn't Hamilton wear orange and black, or like Pittsburgh wore orange and black at one point? Nice, classy look. Looks a bit like the Blues, though. Oh, actually, I was like, well, who is? I'm like, what? Yeah, but the Blues were first professional team before the Oilers were. At least, if we're counting the WHA days. All right, let's close this out then in 5, 4, 3-2, and Hamilton was more yellow. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Kind of tough to see here because we have only one vote for the C tier. We have one vote for S or A. We have 36% for B, but we have 45% for D. So with that being said, taking into account laws of average, I'm going to put this in C tier. All right. Now, this next team has not shown off what their third jersey is going to be. And it's not an alternate jersey, but it's going to be their Winter Classic jersey because the Panthers are hosting that. Low C as a compromise. Exactly. All right. So the Panthers. All right. Panthers come next. So all we know for sure right now is their red homes and their aways. That's all we have. No reverse retro, nothing like that. So all the votes welcome, everybody. Has anybody bought any tickets for this upcoming year? I have not. I don't know if I'm going to be anywhere near an NHL arena this year. Maybe on the East Coast. Maybe, but that's going to be closer to the end of the year. I might just be tired of seeing them. And Jelly Ramp, that's a great point too. It doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means like, hey, if we got something new out there that could actually pique interest more. I have 21 games this season with Chicago, the good old half-season plan. I want to see the Habs this season for sure. Oh, cool. So you've never been to the Bell Center? Or at least or maybe you have been and you're just like, well, this is the first time in a while where we can be really fired up about the Canadiens. So, I mean, shoot. It could be very exciting, albeit it's going to be tricky for them to repeat what they did last year, not because they lack the talent, Demidov coming into the lineup, but just that division is so difficult. All right, so, wow, Panthers, not good. All right, we're going to close this out then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So the logical thing for me to do here is put this probably in C as well. But the thing is that some people might even vote these as F tier. I don't suspect. I think we're going to be here, though. Now, the next team we've got, they only have 2 jerseys right now as well. They had a lot of different jerseys in the Adidas era, and that's the LA Kings. But right now, they're just rocking the home and away, kind of like Anaheim, right? They reverted, or they switched up their branding in that was the start of last season. Oh, wait, did I not even title this? Well, anyway, you guys know. You guys know that this is the Kings, right? So this is essentially what they used to wear in the Gretzky era. However, the silver actually shimmers. It's got that fleck to it. And there's been like a small modification to the crest. What I appreciate is that the numbers are higher up too. They're not actually on the bands themselves. I may or may not be a Kings fan. Well, I'm a Sharks fan, and it would be hard for me not to put this in A. It's crisp. It's crisp, and it's distinct. And, silver and black works in sports. Look at the Spurs. Look at the Raiders, right? Kings are rumored to release a third at the midpoint. If it's purple, I might have to buy one. B, the silver buckets would bring it to an A, but we're only looking at the jerseys. Okay, fair. Yeah. It's a really nice look on the ice, too. I mean, when I first kind of saw it, I was like, okay, I'm not surprised to see this. I wish the collar was just all black, though. Maybe like a silver rim, but I don't really like the backside of it. But that's pretty minor in my critiques. All right, everybody, what are we looking at here? So we got... Okay. All right, let's close this out in 5, 4, 3, 2-1. All right. Now, there were some votes for C tier. I don't want to count that out here, but that's a pretty good representation for S or A. So in this case, I'm going to throw up the Kings. Let's see. I'll make my own call here. I'll put him at the end of A. Egginator, what's going on? Sakuna, welcome back. All right. Now, the next team we've got is the Minnesota Wild. High B? Could be. But then I think that we'd have to throw it in. I think we'd have to put Chicago in A, or we'd have to. It's like basically, I think a little bit ahead of the Blackhawks. I could be wrong. All right, now we've got the Wild, and Minnesota now wears 3 jerseys, right? So they have the forest green for home. They have the So yeah, here you have the home, right? They've been wearing this since the start of the Adidas era. You've got, pretty classic or pretty straightforward road design. And then you have the Subway third jersey, which is a variant of the Reverse Retro 2.0. You got that State of Hockey patch. You've got the Minnesota State outline in the lettering as well. And so, yeah. Is this the last year we see Kaprizov in green? I mean, shoot, if he rejected, what was that, $16 million annually? I know the cap's going up, man, but Draisaitl's the highest paid player at 14 or 14.5, and you've got McDavid up for an extension as well. I'm sorry, Kirill is very talented, but I don't think you should be paying a top winger more money than I wouldn't think that he's worth any more than Draisaitl. I would say that, like, if they were going to do long term, I'd say that he was maybe 13.5 would be acceptable. But yeah, that's a hell of a lot of money. Minnesota jerseys are just so good. Yeah, I love the home one. It's pretty great. Away, I'm not in love with it, but it's not offensive. I just wish that there was a chance that they could. Well, I mean, you know me. I like the rounded shoulders. I'm very picky about that. Not a huge fan of the red letters, but again, it's like these are fairly minor things. And then yeah, this is great. I love it. And when they did the Reverse Retro 1.0, I thought that was terrific as well. All right, where does everybody have this one? Okay. Excuse me. All right, let's close this out in 10 seconds. So vote if you haven't already. But, okay. Ooh. SA is still getting more votes than BC combined. I don't think we're quite in the A tier just yet. Or in the S tier just yet. Then again, I don't even know if anybody is going to grade in the S tier. All right. So with that being said, I would have Minnesota personally. I'd have them probably an A. I think they're going to get a nice ranking kind of right about here. And again, this is jerseys. It's not the logos, but these to me might be the two best logos in the NHL. We should rank gold horns. Yeah, I think we might have done that, but it's probably been at least like 3 years. All right. Montreal comes next. And they don't really put out many New Jersey designs. But they have arguably the most iconic jerseys in the sport. So, really, you guys know Canadiens jerseys, right? That's what you got. Now, personally, I would really love to see them wear a white version of this red jersey for their away games. They did that, but that was a whole long time ago. The last time they did that full time whites that were like the home jersey, like they did that back in the 40s, and I think they've worn a design for 1 year like that for like a commemorative or something. The only one who thinks the away jersey feels the same. Or all away jerseys feel the same. I don't know. I kind of thought about that earlier in my time on this channel, but as I started collecting more, I came to appreciate some of the teams' white jerseys and even prefer them over the homes. Home is S, but the away brings it down to an A. I think that's pretty fair. Of course, I probably wouldn't rank it as high myself just because again, like Dallas, the collar just ruins it. I mean, for snobs like myself. All right, we're going to close this out in 10 seconds, so vote if you haven't already. All I'm going to say is that it was really cool when Caulfield changed his number to 13 for Johnny. Absolutely. All his pictures from his childhood are him at Habs games. Wow. Then I would think that, was he going to games at the Forum? All right. We're going to close this out then in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Basically, this one is tied with the Wild from what I see here, because a couple people weren't so sold on this. So I'm going to bump this over to right about here. But yeah, we might have to put somebody in A at some, or in the S tier at some point, and maybe somebody goes in the F tier as well. All right, let's move on. And now we have the Devils. And the Devils are sporting 3 jersey designs for the upcoming season, as they have the last few years. Although they did have that Stadium Series jersey back in 2024. But yep, you got the home design that we've seen since 2017. You've got a very similar looking away design as well. The bottom of the jersey, I think, is just a thin black stripe. It's not a red stripe. And then you have the jersey, which they've had for now a few years. Definition of solid. Biased Devils fan, but I do love these. I dislike the jersey, and I think our H and A could use a bit more happening, but they are nice. H and A. I'm not sure if I'm picking up on that. Cortana. There you go. These to me are, I've talked about this before. I'm not a fan of this design, like the logo. It's not, granted, it's not ugly. It's just that I do prefer the original design when they had the waist striping. But I mean, red and black, generally speaking, I think we all kind of like red and black looks. The jersey, I don't think it works for the Devils' identity per se, but there are a couple of cool elements, but it just seems kind of out of place with the rest of the brand. Do you think hockey should add City Connect jerseys? I would probably say, I'd probably say no. I think that we have enough kind of categories. We have alternates, we have heritage and like commemorative jerseys for like anniversaries. We have outdoor games. We had just 2 seasons of it, but we had reverse retro. So I think we're good, honestly. But hey, if it leads to an increase in merchandise, why wouldn't they do it, right? All right, let's close it out then in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This is pretty split in the middle. I think that this is going to end up, I'd love to see a dude perfect Dallas jersey. That's an idea. I like the green jersey they had. Oh, yeah. The reverse retro 1.0 is pretty sharp. I'm going to throw this in at the end of the B tier. I think that should be fair. Cortana, you're okay, girl. Cortana's whining. All right. Now, I think this one may get a different ranking, and that's the Predators. And the Preds are just going to be sporting their home and away for this upcoming year, as far as I know. So here's Nashville. And you have the little guitar pick, secondary logo there on the shoulder. You got the guitar strings and the numbers. And then the white, you got a yellow shoulder yoke. Predator's gold, as they call it. Excuse me. Let's see. I love the keyboard color. Yeah, me too. I just, with this, I mean, some people might factor that into their rankings. Some might not. That is a hot take. Hot take is that the Preds have some of the dopest jerseys in the league. Wow. That is a hot take. I don't mind them wearing yellow, but I just wish that to me, the design itself leaves quite a bit to be desired. It has cool little elements. I'm not going to dispute that, but it's just that stuff is not noticeable when you're watching them in person or on TV. Jelly Ramp honestly says A. Interesting. Why couldn't they just keep the 2011 to 17 Reebok set? Personally, I'd rather, if we're going to go to a home and away look they've had before, I would probably argue that the original look was that was my favorite, actually. They had that checkerboard alternate, of course. Yeah, that was the other one I liked. The reverse retro 1.0, which was the yellow version of the original home jersey, I really liked that one quite a bit. I did sell it, but yeah, it was a great one to collect. Nashville retirement home jerseys are pretty good. Preds are a top jersey set. Interesting, top 5. Huh. You got to bounce. All right, Jelly Ramp. We'll see you for another one. All right, let's close it out then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, well, we only had 10 votes. So I got to play to the percentages here. So S and A got 30%. D and F got 40%. C got 20%. B got 10%. That means that they go in the C tier. But they're going to rank ahead of a couple teams based on what I'm seeing here. All right. Now we move on to the Islanders. And the Isles, I think they just have their 2 jerseys this year. And how long have they been wearing these now? Probably about 12, 13 years? Maybe more than that. And I think originally the away jerseys look like this originally? The home jerseys didn't, though. They didn't have that white at the end. I remember that. And the numbers were done a little bit differently too. The numbers actually used to be orange for at least the dark jersey. Color on the home ruins it for you. I mean, that's definitely something to point out. I don't like the collar on either of these. And I think that with the Islanders, if they fix that, I would still think that you should probably have some sort of logo on the shoulders. Even if it was just that, I don't know if you guys remember this, but back in the late 90s, they had a patch on the shoulder that was commemorative of the 4 Stanley Cups that they won. It didn't say that. It was just this kind of rectangular parallelogram looking patch. When they had that jersey, it was navy. It was a navy look, and I actually thought that was a nice look as well. I personally probably would still prefer them in the royal blue, but that other look, I thought that was pretty strong for them too. All right, I'll give you guys about 15 seconds on the Islanders if you haven't voted already. Nick, what's going on, man? How's Cortana? So I was saying this earlier. Cortana had she had her knee surgery at the beginning of this year, and something just wasn't quite the same when she came out of it, honestly. But she's still able to run around. She just can't use that leg as effectively as before. It's kind of like she's on 3.5 legs, but she can still run, play fetch, chase animals, even elk. She's going after animals that are 7-8 times her size, and she can still go on some hikes. So she's doing just fine. Thank you. I'll take the Adidas collar sucks. I think that's probably the take that most of us can agree on with this. All right, we're going to close this out then in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So combine the C tier with the D and the F tier, and that's greater than the S, A, and B representation here. So I'm going to throw this in C, but it's not going to be a poor ranking for the Islanders. The next one's interesting because we have 4 different jersey designs. Astro says they need to go back to the navy blue. Actually, nobody wears navy and orange right now because the Oilers aren't doing that. So maybe I wouldn't oppose it, but I don't think they need to necessarily. All right, so the Rangers, they've got 4 jersey designs with that 4th one being unveiled today. We all know the classic Rangers look, right? Royal blue, word mark, drop shadow on the lettering. The white jersey, that's what I'm wearing here, albeit it's an Adidas, but same difference for now. You've got this, what do they call this? The Subway jersey? I don't know. I know not to be confused with the Wild. They got those stripes on the arms, navy blue. And then today, this is what they unveiled. And this is essentially what they wore in their first season as a franchise back in 1926. You got the sweater collar as well to kind of commemorate that. It's a lighter shade of blue. It's different lettering. It's more simple. And I think that's an off-white that you see, not a stark white per se. Step on in overtime. Oh, God. What game was that? Step on in overtime. Is that going back to 2014? Oh, gee. You're going to have to remind me who that was against. That one is god-awful. Ouch. It's so boring, says Aaron. Okay. I think you might have a point when you look at these 2 jerseys and you say, where is the Statue of Liberty? Fair. But personally, I love the classic Rangers look. The 3rd jersey, I don't love it. It's pretty mid for me. It's not a bad jersey, but it's not doing a whole lot. And then you got this. And personally, I really like that. I love the sweater collar. Big sucker for that. And I like the lighter blue, the off-white. I would say that if I didn't put this any higher than the A tier, I would be upset. All right. We need some more votes, though, guys. We only got 8 votes. So please keep them coming. Canes fan, so a little biased, but I'm liking that cotton candy-ish blue. Right? Last 2 are abominations. The white shoulder striping are the reason why you voted B. Yeah. This is so cool. This is like one of the best features in all of hockey jerseys, I think, in the NHL. All right, well, if we're not going to get any more votes, I might as well then close this one out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so not the most polarizing, but still, 44% says B tier, but 33% say D or F tier, which would put it in C, right? S and A is, I think, what? 1 or 2 votes. Same thing with C tier. But we got to put me in here as well, because I do play a factor in this. I would personally have this at least in A. So we'll put it in the B tier, albeit at the very end of the B tier. All right. Let's go with the Ottawa Senators, another team that has a new jersey coming up with this upcoming campaign. The Senators will have a red alternate jersey. All right. Let's boogie. So you got the black home jersey, which is essentially very similar to what they wore back in the early 90s, except I think those the little leaves and the logo, it used to say Ottawa Senators for the first couple years. So you got that. Then you have a very similar looking away jersey. And then we get to the new one. And there aren't that many good photos of it, honestly. I couldn't find a photo of it with numbers. But here, I can even zoom in on this if you'd like to get a closer look. I like the logo treatment here. Looks really nice. And then you have some of that leaf pattern in the sleeves themselves. I don't know if you can see that here, but that's a nice detail. Kind of like how the Sharks did with their stealth jersey years ago. And a little bit kind of like what the Seahawks have on their uniforms too. Switching sports. I do see lots of Seahawks around here. I live about a 5-hour drive from Seattle. New alternate, ain't it? The shoulders feel forced. Now, I do agree. If it were just completely red up there, I'd have to see what the numbers look like. It's kind of weird excuse me, I have to kind of adjust my eyes because there's no white in this jersey otherwise, which I don't mind them doing because that look would be cool. But yeah, the shoulders, it's kind of like what do they call them? Epaulets or epaulets? With the little, they should add the little frills to them. All right. Keep the votes coming. We're going to close this out in 10 seconds, though. So vote if you've yet to do so. You missed the old 2010s uniforms. Those were fire. I wasn't a fan of them, but yeah, I would rather see one of those jerseys than this one, frankly. What part of Idaho? I'm in the north, so just about 2 hours south of the Canada border. It looks like a Mounties uniform. Yeah, I think you're you're definitely onto something there. All right, let's close it out then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Well, actually, still a pretty respectable ranking. I think we're gonna throw this in right about here in the B tier. Albeit we haven't had any S's yet. Stay tuned though, because we might correct that. We might add a couple of S's in there. And we might even bump a team or two down the list as well. All right. Let's go with our next team. And that is the Philadelphia Flyers. And they have 3 jerseys for this upcoming year. Blues are S. I wouldn't have a problem with that personally. Now the Blues are going to be using their home jersey from last year as a third. I'm not a huge fan of that home jersey, but I don't mind them doing that because it is kind of reminiscent of their Stanley Cup run. Now for the Flyers, you've got the more burnt orange versus the traffic cone orange. And then you have the away, pretty similar to what you see with the home. You've got that bar on the nameplate that's filled in, so the black bar there. And then you have the alternate, and we've got Michkov here. So they still use that black alternate with the enlarged numbers. They've been using that for quite a while now. As a Penguins fan, F. As a designer, A. Oh, interesting. I hate everything about the city of Philly. I think people, well, not except for sports. I think Philly hates everything about Philly. I don't know. They are the ones who hang out with me on the channel, though. They always they're great. But then again, I haven't really seen the Flyers in the playoffs much since I started this channel. So it could be like when the werewolf sees the full moon, you know? C, previous Flyers unis were fine. Don't like the hybrid look with the 60s, 70s, and yeah, because it is kind of a fusion of things. Derek says should have just done the '90s look. Black alternate jersey is meh. I think that's all pretty fair. I actually I don't mind them using the burnt orange, but there's like one or two tweaks I'd prefer to see. And the alternate is it's fine. I think altogether it's just kind of fine. It's again kind of like it's kind of mid, even though the Flyers are so like that look is so recognizable. As somebody was saying earlier, it's kind of like, well, we've seen so much of this. They were talking about the Panthers. Hey, wait, they're in San Jose for this game. There's somebody in a Shark shirt in the top right, and a bunch of empty seats. But I bet the Sharks' attendance goes up a little bit this next year. All right, let's close this out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sports Geeks still loving it though. Have a liking to the black jerseys, but the burnt orange is classic to you. And all things considered here, I think we have to throw this in C. It's pretty much right here in the middle of the pack of that tier, from what I recall. All right. Now it's time for Yins to vote for the Penguins. I don't know. I can't use Yins. Just feels so awkward. But you know what doesn't feel awkward are these designs. So we got Sid here in the black and athletic gold that they've been wearing since they brought it back as an alternate in 2016. And then you have the away, very similar, of course. And then they're still wearing the black jersey from the early 90s or early to mid 90s, which people affectionately refer to as the Snoop Dogg jersey. You got the penguin actually on the shoulders there. And of course, this is a throwback to what they wore in the 90s. I already said that. To me, this is a very solid set. I'm not in love with this jersey, the letter mark, but I think, or the word mark, but I think it's still fine. Really, it is. And actually, I do have the white version, as you might have seen behind me here. And that was a gift from CJ. So CJ, if you're listening, thanks again, buddy. And thank you for the other gifts, because boy, howdy, I've gotten a lot from him. But you've all given me a gift here, and that is being here for the stream. Did I see on Twitter the Predators flipped off San Jose? Oh, yeah, I did. That was funny. I mean, they mad. They hate us because they ain't us. The future is not gold. Boy, oh boy, did things really fall off for Nashville. Nice alternate is nostalgic. I'm sure it is for a lot of people. I think the Robo Penguin probably holds that for me more so. All right, so we got 10 votes, but I think we can get some more here. I'm only going to give you 15 more seconds to vote, though. So do that if you haven't already. If, let's say, the Penguins if this was the reverse retro 2.0, I probably would have this in S, honestly. I probably would. Or if they had like one of the blue jerseys that they used to wear for like the Winter Classic. Yeah, this would probably drop it down to A, but still a very strong A, I think. All right, let's close this out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Hate how the Predators say the future is gold. We are gold. Oh, yeah, the future is athletic gold. All right, Penguins, they're going in the A tier. I'm going to put them up pretty high. Not as high as these, though. They're going to go right about here. Yeah? Yeah, right about here is good. All right. Kraken come next. B for you. It pains you to do that. It's cool looking. All right. Kraken are next. And as you guys know, they recently released a third jersey. It's a black jersey that glows in the dark. Now, granted, I kind of don't factor that too much into my votes here because, I mean, hey, it's not like they're playing games in the dark. That would be kind of cool, though. People would get hurt, though. But maybe the puck could glow in the dark as well, and the stick blades. I don't know. So, yeah, here's the Kraken home jersey. And then you got the away right here. We'll zero in. I have this one. And then we have the new alternate jersey with the kind of stage gradient on the arm, kind of like they have with the home and the away, with the waves, the sort of ripple effect. You still have those red bands as well, and then you've got this pretty awesome looking logo. I'm not gonna doubt that. Wow. So far, this is actually grading out to be the top team, even ahead of the Red Wings and Wild. So I'll give you 15 more seconds to vote if you haven't already. An A logo. Derek says C. Ooh. Really solid, but they kind of ripped off the red highlight from the expansion brethren and the Knights. That's true. The Knights have always had that little red stripe in there. All right. Well, let's close this out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Now, this one graded out almost identically to the Red Wings. I think technically it beats Detroit, but we're going to do something. We're going to do something, ladies and gentlemen. Boom. There we have it. We have our first 2 S-tier teams. Right then and there. If I couldn't just have them at the front of the A tier, we only have, like 8 teams left. So there you go. I don't know why they would do black when they already have navy blue. Fair. But everybody's got to have a black jersey, right? Ducks jersey had the orange stripe as well. And the Sharks. Yeah, that's true. But those were, at least the Sharks had it in the middle of the arm. I don't know. And actually, speaking of the Sharks, they are the next team. And they still are sporting their 3 jerseys. Now, as I like to say, don't look at the rest of the uniform. Just look at the jersey itself. Because some people would say it's too much teal. You might think the jersey is too much teal, and I respect that. But yes, look at the jersey itself. So you got the home, which now I think they're going into their 4th season with this look. Here's the away. And then you've got, let's look at this. This is a thing of beauty, everybody. Absolutely. I still don't have one of these, but I could probably scoop it up within the next few months. So, yep, we got the San Jose Sharks. Los Tiburones. In all honesty, instead of the glow-in-the-dark games, the NHL could do blacklight games. Yeah, something kind of like that. Imagine the jersey color combination styles for that. You respect the Ducks and Sharks sticking with the teal and orange pants. I kind of wish I would see this with black uniforms or with black equipment, though. Honestly, the home and away, that is. The Cali fin is beautiful. That deserves an S by itself. Let's see here. I know I missed a comment or two. The red logo has too much going on. Let's see here. Do black when they already have. Oh, that was about the Kraken. Black for black's sake. Hey, the Sharks have always had a black jersey since 2001, I think. Bodacious, hey, thanks for hanging out with us here. Hopefully we'll see you for the next one. All right. Like the color scheme on the black jersey, but the logo just isn't it for the alt. All right. Ooh. That ranks out pretty damn good too. All right. Let's close this in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So we had 45% for B tier and 36% for S or A tier. I think then we can probably, it's the Sharks. We'll put it in the A tier, but we'll put it at the end of the A tier. All right. Wrapping up soon for the beer league. Okay. Let's get to the Blues then. And the Blues have new home and away jerseys for the upcoming campaign. All right. So St. Louis. Yep. So very similar to what they wore as their alternate, but there are a couple of small changes with the numbers and the outline not having any like white or off white there. So pretty reminiscent of and a new logo too, or a refreshed logo. And the away jersey, couldn't quite get a great photo of it by itself, but I mean, shoot, you can look at it this way as well. So pretty similar to what they had with the Winter Classic games. No sweater collar. Yep. And then also they have this this is going to be their alternate, their home jersey, which they used as their home jersey, God, for 15 or so years. Have I played NHL 26? No, I don't really shell so much, bro. I'm not a big shell guy. Yo, I'd like to have another Metallica night in San Jose. I got to go to one of those too. The Kraken are good, but they don't come close to the Blues. One of the best. Now they're one of the worst. Looks tacky and dated. Really, St. Louis. Interesting. Rocking the Super Meat Boy profile pic, or at least it looks a lot like it. With one of the worst. Well, hey, this is the place. This is the place where we give our takes. It is a public forum of hockey goodness. Did I ever go see the Steelheads? No, I haven't gone. I actually haven't even been to Boise because it's a short flight, sure, but it's like a 7-hour drive for me. So I haven't been over there. I live closer to, or at least driving wise, it's easier for me to go to Seattle, even Portland for that matter. All right. How is the poll coming along here? Okay. I'm going to give you 15 seconds more. I still prefer their old, now alternate as their home, but I still like the New Jersey. For me, if we're just doing home and away, I mean, you guys might have seen my jersey rankings video from like a month and a half or 2 months ago. I had this as number one, I want to say. And when you add in the away jersey, yeah, I probably would rank this set number one. I think it's fantastic. All right, let's close this out then in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so we just ranked the Sharks. This looks like it grades a little better, not by a whole lot, but I think that's enough to vault them pretty comfortably into the A tier, right about here, I'd say. All right, and now let's get to the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Bolts. So Lightning, they have 3 jerseys for this upcoming year. I'm about to use the restroom here. Can't hold it much more. All right, so Tampa Bay. Oh wait, shoot, guys, I am so sorry. I forgot to throw this in there with the Blues. They're also going to be wearing this, albeit they'll wear it like once or twice. So I don't think that would change the ranking all that much. But if we need to do a revote, I'll consider it. In the meantime, let's rank Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay, you guys are used to seeing the homes. You know the aways. I'm going to use the restroom right now, but I'll leave you with the alternate jersey right here, okay? So vote. And I'll be right back, okay, guys? And, always a good chance to drop a like if you haven't already. I'll be right back. Okay. How are we feeling about the Tampa Bay Lightning, everybody? Let's go here. Let's see. Really? All right. Let's close this out then in 10 seconds. Okay, so vote if you haven't already. Not bad, not particularly great. C. Derek says D. If they went with black pants with both home and away, it would look better. I wouldn't mind seeing that personally. I hate the YMCA sponsor; it kind of ruins it. True, but I don't know what the jersey sponsor could be for this upcoming season. It could be different. I don't know. All right, here we go. Closing it out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Some said B. A little more said C, and some said C or D. I think in this case, I'm going to have to put this kind of in C tier right about here. All right. Now we're going to go to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Toronto has 4 jerseys for this upcoming year. And I will show you what I mean in just a moment. All right. So we have, did I say Maple Leafs in the, okay, good. All right. So Toronto, you guys know the home. You guys know the away. Now, here's what they got for the alternate. So they still have that, what do they call it? Drew House Bieber collab, which is reversible, albeit I would probably just base it on what you have here because you don't see the other side on the ice. And then you also have, this is going to only be probably for 1 game out of the year or maybe 2 games. It's a St. Pat's inspired jersey. It's not the same as what they wore several years ago, though, because they wore something that was more true to the St. Pat's. And then, then you got this reversible one right here. Or I already showed you that, but I'll leave it right there. There we go. Captain Austin Matthews. Now, what grade would I give these? The Maple Leafs home and away jerseys are... when I was a kid, I always thought that was like right up there with my favorites. They're not flashy. They're basic, but they don't do anything wrong, right? They're good. Alternate, I don't like this. I don't hate it, but it's just odd to me. The St. Pat's one, even though it's not actually the St. Pat's from what they wore in the 20s and 30s, it still looks pretty good. It'd be S if they kept the 2 stripes on the bottom. 1 stripe looks too much like Tampa. Oh, yeah. I mean, they do look too similar, I think. Here, Cortana, come over here, get more treats. Cortana, come here, get more treats. If she doesn't care, come here, sweetie. Much like the Red Wings, they can rock a rather basic look because it's classic S or A. Let's see here. All right. We only have 8 votes, so I'm going to give you 10 more seconds to cast your vote if you've yet to do so. But based on what I'm seeing right now, it's probably going to just be a low B. We're going to close this then in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So Toronto, we're going to drop you right about here, I want to say. Right next to Boston. You guys can be neighbors. Okay. Oops. So we're just no. Come on. Yeah. All right. Now we've got the Utah the Utah Mammoth. Excuse me. All right. Let's see. Start a poll. So the Mammoth. Wow. It's like kind of weird just typing that out, honestly. Now, don't forget, guys, with the Mammoth, they're using the same road jersey that they had last year. So it just says Utah on it, right? Let's see. There we go. So here's the Mammoth, right? We know what the home jersey looks like. Okay, so it's got the actual logo on it, and the design is otherwise what they had for this past year. And then the road jersey is just like this, but the shoulder patch is I think what they were for home, or at least it's very similar, I think. So yeah, here's Utah. This is their road jersey, and we haven't seen it in a game just yet, but we got the home jersey right here as well. So what do you think of the Mammoth? I'm going to Salt Lake on November 20th to see them play the Knights. Awesome. I'm generally not crazy about black as the base color, and I think that that's fair to point that out, even though I think it looks cool. It's just like, is it original? But these are sharp, but the away jersey is inexcusable D tier. Ooh. I think the jersey itself looks fine, but I would definitely knock them a rank down for that. So I think that if I wanted to get more critical, but not a really critical, I'd say probably A for home, and then I'd probably say, C for away. So to me, it's a B overall. The new Mammoth owner is pretty great. Did I see the new practice arena? Actually, I think I did. I just kind of a glimpse of it, honestly. Away jersey's too plain. It just looks generic as a custom team in an NHL video game. I see what you mean, but I don't know, man. I just like that look quite a bit. I like the colors. That helps. And the Mammoth looks pretty freaking determined, so that's cool too. All right, we're going to close it out then in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Yeah, but I've heard good things about the Mammoth ownership so far too. All right, we're going to drop this guy in B. Not super high, not super low. Probably right about here. Canucks. So we've got 4 teams remaining here. They should have had their logo. Yeah, I don't like when teams don't match, really. Like the Wild, for example. I wish that there was a way the Wild could match the two. Let's see here. Canucks. And don't even get me started on the Hurricanes. The Canucks are rocking 3 jerseys for the upcoming season, as far as I know. So Vancouver's got, the good old home jersey without the word mark. They've got the white away with a little bit different color play there. And they've got the black skate jersey. Now, personally, I would say that I'm not in love with the home and away jersey. I don't think it's, by no means, there's nothing wrong with it per se. I like that it's unique colors. It's good. But then you throw in the skate and damn, with the rest of the uniform, it looks incredible. Yeah, then I would probably bump this up a peg. So I'd probably grade this myself as an A. Are we almost done? Jake, what's happening, man? Yeah, we've only got the Knights, the Jets, and the Capitals after this. The sponsor ruins all 3 jerseys. Yeah, but you don't. I don't know for sure if they're going to have the same sponsor for this next season. But definitely cast your votes if you haven't already. Damn, says Jake. A black alternate uni puts it up to an A. Now all we need is them to reissue the Millionaires as a heritage jersey. That thing is so freaking fresh. I love that. Which they wore in the 2014 Heritage Classic when John Tortorella was still their coach, I think, yeah? Canucks on the blue and green. Yeah, exactly. They've gone with every single color except for purple. All right, well, if we're not going to get any more votes, I'll give you guys 10 more seconds to vote if you haven't already, okay? All right, let's close it out then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So now how do we balance this out? They're just better ones out there. Yeah, it didn't grade quite as well as I look at the end of the A tier. That was the Sharks. It's still pretty high, but not quite. Not quite. put it right about there. All right, the Golden Knights come next, and they have 3 jerseys. They have the gold home. They have the same away that they've been rocking for their franchise's existence. All right, so here's the gold. You guys have seen this quite a bit over the last several years. They have the away, and they have their alternate, which was the home for the first few years. This charcoal gray jersey, which I still have in my collection, and it's still my favorite Knights jersey. I know a lot of people like that reverse retro 2.0, the glow in the dark one. But yeah, this one to me is easily my favorite. It's awesome. Away jersey, I kind of waffle on this, but then again, I actually, when I look at the back and I see, especially when they had the perforated font, I know teams don't do that anymore, but when they had that and you factor in how awesome the shoulder logos look on the away jersey as well, this one is still very nice. And then this one, the Knights fans already know my opinion on this. It's I don't mind the gold. It's just, it's the arms, the coloring, and the banding and the thickness, and that to me kind of takes away from how awesome it would have been if they would have shaken things up a little bit on the arms. But altogether, I'd say that this might rank high B for me. It's still good. Oh wow. The incorporation of the white is so good. It makes sense for them to actually be golden, but the charcoal base was so unique. Yeah, the charcoal was ahead of its time. I have to give them credit, because with the texture in the arms and even the logo treatment itself, that paved the way for other teams to do cool things with their jerseys in the Adidas era. You should go back to that red jersey. The red jersey. You mean the reverse retro 1.0, which, by the way, I'm probably one of the biggest fans of that one. I actually think that one's pretty awesome, except for the collar. But again, that's something that most people don't notice. All right, we're going to close this out then in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I think this pushes the Knights to the front of our rankings in the S tier, right there at the top. So we have a new champ. Unless Washington or Winnipeg has something to say about that. So we're going to start with the Winnipeg Jets, who have 3 jerseys of their own. All right, Winnipeg. You guys know the home jersey, the two-tone blue. Here's the away with the arms, the two-tone arms essentially, and shoulder yoke. And then you have the sort of throwback to their days in the Western Hockey Association. So that's what you got for Winnipeg. Just don't mention the Winter Classic. It's not that bad. It's not good, but I like that at least it's different. So you got to give them credit. They tried. Bring them down to our level. We're getting unfairly lonely. Oh, the Hurricanes? Yeah, I don't know, man. Nobody's failed this. Alternates are the best look. I think the overall uniform looks really sharp. The jersey itself is still great. I personally like the white one more. I think that the logo, it works better with the logo treatment. I think they're getting a tiny bit stale and could use a rebrand, but also, if it ain't broke, don't fix it in the B tier. Very fair. I'd agree with you there. All right. What are we looking at for the Jets? Pretty split. I'll give you 10 seconds to vote if you haven't already. But I might have to be the deciding vote here. Yep. So we're going to close this out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So it's a dead even split. We'll go to me for the tiebreaker because it's dead on in the middle. I personally think it's on the more positive side of things, but it's still going to rank at the end of the B tier. And lastly, we have the Capitals. And we've seen this look for almost all of Ovechkin's career. But now we have an alternate that is very similar to the Reverse Retro 1.0. But you got the shoulder yoke now. The Capitol building is on the shoulders. And the striping and banding looks different. So we're going to close out with Washington. What did I say? Oh, the crap. Oh, okay. I thought I said that. I thought I was not using the word Capitals for this team. The 2018 Stanley Cup champion Washington Capitals. Do the Caps have one more run in them, or was last year just a pop-up season? The one thing that's going for them, though, is that the Metro Division, it's not great. Carolina is still very competitive. New Jersey, as long as the injury bug doesn't hit them, can be a very good team. Just haven't really taken that next step yet. And the Jackets got really close to the playoffs last year. Rangers, a lot of people are, or I would think that there's going to be a fair amount of people who say the Rangers will bounce back fairly significantly. Flyers, quite not there yet. Islanders, pretty much competitive, but not, a playoff lock. Penguins, Gavin McKenna, you are a Pittsburgh Penguin. Keaton Verhoff, you are a San Jose Shark. All right. Kopitar is going to retire. Excuse me. The same year McDavid becomes a free agent. Oh, go to LA. Boy, I didn't put those two together. When I started the stream, I hadn't even heard about Kopitar. So, I mean, it's unfortunate that he hasn't made those deep runs in recent years, but he's been a fantastic player. I've always kind of thought of him as kind of like a Patrice Bergeron of the Western Conference, and I think that he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's got a hell of a resume, and hopefully he is a big influence on hockey in Slovenia and that region of Europe. Script writers are cooking. Yeah, absolutely. Eichel to LA and McDavid to Vegas. This isn't the NBA. That would break the hockey world. All right. Let's close it out then in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And this one, because the plurality is saying C tier, we're going to put the Caps in the C tier right about here where the Islanders and Flyers are. And hopefully for them, they're not there in the standings with those teams. All right. Kopitar and Kershaw retiree photo was dope. Oh, ooh, really? I didn't see that. But yeah, the end of an era, really. All right. So that's what we got for our rankings. And nice job on timing, guys. We did this in about an hour and a half, and I appreciate you for that. I would definitely appreciate it if you could leave a thumbs up. All right. Minnesota, Montreal, Pittsburgh. These guys were close to Kraken S. But I think these three teams here did come away with slightly, albeit, but noticeably, the best representation in the polls. I feel too dirty putting Chicago. I'm putting Chicago in A. I can't not put Chicago in A. I'd say, let's see here. Minnesota, Montreal, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Calgary, Buffalo. The A tier to me, I absolutely agree that these teams should be at least that high. I think Detroit with the new Centennial jersey would be that high. I'm not as big on the Seattle selection. I would have them very solidly in B. Vegas, I wouldn't have them there either, but both of those I would probably have in B. At the lowest, we have the Hurricanes. I mean, geez, they just don't really like much consistency. I guess they like being consistently inconsistent. Florida and C, I can see that, just given that we've seen the same look for a while and they don't have any other jerseys. Edmonton, to me, there are a lot of people who don't like the Edmonton look, but personally, I really like it, so I'd vault that higher. But the rest of the C tier, I can pretty much agree with. Yeah. Everything else, mostly, I'd probably like knock New Jersey down. I'd bump the Rangers up, personally. But I can understand why people aren't super high on the Centennial jersey. Anyway, Eichel's close to an extension, but all seems McDavid is going to leave Edmonton. I mean, if you had to flip, I think it's a coin flip, but like, I think it's the way the narrative is, at least, right? If Kaprizov is turning down $16 million a year, imagine what McDavid and his camp are thinking, right? Anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure connecting with you here. We'll be back again soon. You guys can let me know if you have ideas for future streams, and hopefully I can get back to videos, but no promises there. But with hockey season starting up soon, who knows? Maybe the juices will get flowing there. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. Some people coming back for the first time in a while. I sincerely do appreciate that. And I appreciate the opportunity for us to be here once again, and for another season of Twisted Wrister Hockey, albeit less involved, but still, shoot, I've been doing this since 2018, and it's because of cool people like yourselves. So thanks so much, and I will see you for the next one. Have a great night and a great rest of your week. And no, I don't leave studio. I end stream. There we go.